How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane, and I'm here to give you another Digimon Ghost Game episode review recap. And today's episode is episode 7, entitled Birds. But before we get to the birds, we're going to go ahead and just ask you, well, we being me and my small friends here, I'm going to ask you to please give me a like, a comment, and a subscribe. It definitely helps out the channel, and I definitely appreciate each and every last one of you. Coincidentally, this is called Birds, and I have 3 owls here. I like owls. So, there's going to be I have some small issues with the show and how it is structured. And I'm going to just flat out say that I legitimately forgot what last week's episode was because I was going over what was going on with the show and the structure of it. And I purposely made myself not check my old video and not look it up. I had to force myself to think because if I'm not able to recall this, I'm going to assume that another person who is casually watching, or a person just like, ooh, I like Digimon, so I'm gonna watch this show. I'm going to assume that they might not remember it either, but I do remember it because it was an interesting design and it's kind of overlapping. Two bird types of last week was very much singing. Pardon me. So the opening is still same opening, talking about holograms and ghosts and all this other stuff. Of course, they show flashes of Mummymon going crazy, Evil Clockmon, Stupid Dracmon, blah, blah, blah. I'm in favor of taking this 5 to 7 second thing and just getting rid of it. You don't need it anymore. If you're gonna do an intro, you need to change it. Not just change the images. You need to say, hey, these things are turning into horror stories because they're literally based on different type of horror stories or different type of mythos and mythologies that deal with like horror and ghost things and things like that. Like the clock one was someone stealing your soul, and the mummy one was mummy, and then we had Drac, which was um, the whole look at a phone thing, or if you see a certain picture kind of thing, and then we had Pumpmon, or Pumpkinmon, which is a pumpkin. It's Halloween time, and we had the God of Money with Majoramon, and we had the Sirenmon, which is the haunted karaoke thing. And today, well, we'll get into today and I'll show you the Digimon once I get to this part. I'm not gonna wait for Angoramon to tell you because I already knew who it was. So we have a guy that's looking over his cage of birds. In this day and age, or this air, in this part of the universe, of digital world, wherever this world is, the real life world, they have digital locks. Now we all have digital locks, but their digital locks, kind of looks like a padlock with like you just digitally press it, but it says locked on it. This guy has a bunch of birds, and then one crow comes on his balcony. Then a second, then a third, and then all of a sudden you have this big ass Digimon, and it starts to glow, and it breaks the windows. This guy is in love with his birds, but when this happens, all his birds are set free. The locks are melted, and he goes beautiful, and he cries like a little punk. This dude is weird. He's like sickly looking with a beard. I wouldn't even care to pull it up. Look, off the just off the get go. Wait for this. Wait for this. It's Yadagara. It's Yadagaramon, or I like to call him Yadagarazumon, but Yadagaramon, based on the Yadagaratsu, the mythical bird. This is the 2006 version, not this other weird version that doesn't have the thing. Doesn't have the chest part on him. It's the 2006 version, which you can see from. Oh my goodness, what was the name of that show? Uh, Digimon Savers. Digimon Savers. And here's another very, very low res picture of this Digimon. I like Yadagaramon. I like birds and crows. Yadagaramon's one of my favorite Digimons, actually. Funny enough, on my digital X, I actually raced one. It turned to Malomyotismon. Let's go ahead and read through what this Digimon's encyclopedia is, because maybe it might shine some light. Possessing three legs, it is a bizarre, bewitching bird Digimon and a subspecies of Yatagaramon. Although its jet black body presents an evil image to those who see it, it is told that it is Digimon who guides the chosen to the Golden Land in the Eastern Digital World. That does come into play. The Eastern Digital World is a region where there are many mysteries, and it is said that the Golden Land is protected by multiple sacred barriers. Although it's said that with Yadagaramon's guidance, the barriers will be released, traditionally, only those who surmount the threefold trials submitted by Yadagaramon will be finally able to arrive at Golden Land. It is told that those who were not able to endure the trials are dispatched to the Dark Area. Dark Area is very famous in the digital world. It's a special move in concentrating energy that is produced from the things that are on its wings. Those are called the Dokusho, and its forelegs has some of those too, and it's called the Makafutsu no Kami. And Goromon actually calls this move by name too. Those who have suffered from this technique have their digital cells disassembled to a state of zeros and ones. You are just completely taken apart. And it has another move that surrounds the area, and that's in a 3 kilometer area, really, really big. It's a dark night, and it's called the Haguro. In other words, if you play D&D, it's like casting darkness. You can't see anything, you can hear everything, but you can't see it, but it can definitely see you. So, really, really cool Digimon. I like Yatagurumon again. But, let's continue. So, we are now with a little girl who's just anxious to see her little bird, Chiroro. It's a cute little parakeet, and she comes to her room. There are crows in her room. The crows go to attack her, and she's holding the door closed, kind of like that Alfred Hitchcock movie, The Birds. And once everything stops, she opens it. The bird cage is smashed. The window is smashed. Her birdie's gone. Now we see our heroes the next day. Literally, Hero and Gamamon is, you know, on his little backpack. It is colder now, so Gamamon has a little scarf, and everyone else is wearing weather appropriate clothing. Gamamon keeps calling Chocolate Psycho, or keeps saying it's his champion or he's the champion. Very adorable. I still think Gamamon is adorable. Excuse me, despite my frustration. And he drops some of the chocolate, and a crow comes, eats his chocolate, and flies away. He's like, Hero, tell it, give it back, give me some more chocolate. He's like, dude, you still have chocolate in that box. Hero gets a call from Ruli, and the whole gang, and I like this. I like that we don't have to see everyone getting there. It's just, so watch one person, you get a phone call, everyone shows up to one spot, and they have been contacted by the girl. Her name's Mika. Mika says her bird was taken by a bunch of crows. And the whole murderous crows thing makes Senpai, Kirishiro, sorry, it makes Kirishiro kind of nervous. Now, Ruli says just leave it all up to them. Once they get outside, Kirishiro's like, I'm gonna let y'all handle this because I can't, he can't handle this type of thing. But then Ruli shows him a news thing where they see the news person thinks that Yadagaramon is a giant drone that is leading all these crows and making these crows do all this crazy stuff. I don't know a drone that looks like a giant bird. Maybe we might get a government type of organization that covers up these kind of things, like in Savers, like in Tamers, anything with the ERs. Maybe we have another group that's like, we cannot reveal this. Just say it's a drone, or maybe people are just dumb. Who knows? It's kind of interesting that they are able to actually capture this Digimon without some type of device or something. But maybe that's what makes Yatagaramon different. Also, I didn't mention before, Yatagaramon is an ultimate level Digimon. That is Mummymon, Pumpmon, Majuramon, Sirenmon, and now we have Yatagaramon. It's 5 ultimates out of 7 episodes. I'll get to that in one moment, just one moment. So, Hero thinks it's Digimon. Ruli says that Angoramon basically said it is, and she wants help investigating. Hero instantly says yes, because Kirishiro is going to say no. But Jellymon says her darling is just too scared to help. And he's like, well, I'm a genius. I can take care of this. Inadvertently agreeing, getting tricked to agree. But because Ruli and Hero have classes in the afternoon, he can take it. He's already got a master's. I don't know how old he is, but he's already got a master's. He's a genius. And as a matter of fact, Rudely says, "What do you even do during the day?" And he can't answer. And Jellymon says, "You need to get your stuff together." So it's nighttime now. You know, there's crows overhead, and the same creepy dude with the beard and the long hair, who looked like that guy who was friends with Cody's dad from season 2 from Digimon Adventure 02. Looks like that dude. He has a sunken in face. This dude just gives straight up creepo vibes. So he's saying that I'll help you free all these birds. It's great what you're doing. Matter of fact, follow me. I'll show you where to go. And Yatagaraman spreads his energy to several crows. They get dark red eyes. Looks like it agrees, right? So now, um, Kirishiro is trying to set up, like he mentions, like the CIA, which he's basically doing a really good job. He has a map. He's setting everything up. Garamon tries to eat cords. He gets him to not do it. Jellymon wants to read something. He has to chase after her. So, you know, cutely enough, he still calls her Jellymon Sama when nothing is wrong. When she gets hurt, he is straight up Jellymon, but Jellymon Sama. So he, man, he really cares about his partner. His partner really cares about him. We're now seeing an enclosure where Hero's just kind of asking to see the birds from one of his classmates who I guess was handed over this responsibility from joining the club. It's open. All the birds are released. He has many names for them, like Coco and a bunch of other names I can't remember. I just remember Coco because it reminded me of Coco from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Um, and there's a digital melted digital lock like all the others on the ground that has ones and zeros all around it. Bird Hobo Man is helping the crows break birds out of pet shops and out of like just mainly pet shops and other places and people's pet birds. Like this one lady has a bird named Peachan, and she's sad. And Hero, he calls to ask Kirishiro, what can the goal be? He's trying to figure that out, trying to figure out, all the different points of where they're attacking. And Hero's telling Gamamon to not touch anything. Don't touch a single thing. And Goromon says it's basically a move, like I said, that breaks things down to the zeros and ones. Breaks down digital cells. So the goal seems to just be freeing birds. Ruli's doing good investigative work and asking one of the pet shop owners, has she seen this guy? Because up on the website, there's crows and then there's Creepy Man. He's like, yeah, it's the guy that just came before. Kirishiro says, it's an accomplice. Cool. He's going to plug it away. Very CIA of you. Kirishiro says it's the Fibonacci sentence sequence, where it looks like random points, but they all make a spiral to the point where he can pinpoint where the next attack's going to be. And when Hero asks him, can he do that? Kirishiro says in plain English, it's a piece of cake. He tells him to come back because crows aren't going to be active after sundown. But the next place is the Fujihara Bird Sanctuary. And Hero's concerned. And everyone's like, why? It's because it's eagles, hawks, and condors there. Really dangerous birds that could hurt people. Here's my refute to that. I live around the area where there's tons of condors, quite a bit of hawks, some owls. The only time I saw an owl on a bike ride, and when my dog was still alive, I was pretty sure this owl was going to try to grab him because it came up on the fence. It might have been chasing a mouse, maybe. Pretty big birds. Hawks run, those run. Vultures might actually be an issue for small animals. None of these things will attack people unless they're going to be attacked. The only thing that has legitimately attacked me is a mourning dove that had made a nest in one of my potted plants, and I was trying to move everything. So those things will attack you. But Hero wants to make sure no one gets hurt. Now, for some reason, they still go over there at night. I'm guessing to be prepared for when the morning comes because they believe that's when the attack's going to happen. Well, Creepy Dude is walking down there. They spot Creepy Dude, and Angormon identifies Yatagaraman through the darkness. We just see a silhouette, but he says, yeah, this thing controls darkness. So, Creepy Birdman's like, are you going to get away with our noble mission? Garamon just says, "Nah, I'm gonna attack the crows. Y'all took my Psycheo, my champion, my chocolate. I'm going after you." It does the move I told you before, the Makafutsu no Kami. All the birds are carrying these things, so and Goramon had to tell them, "Do not get touched by that light." Petite Tornado basically makes them disperse, and Jellymon, by the way, she started in her little jellyfish form, but when it's time to attack, she went in attack mode and kicked the crow in the face. I laughed because it was funny. I laughed. Funny enough, the dude can actually see all the Digimon and them. I think they got realized. That's probably why Yatagaraman was able to be seen. Because for some reason it probably went through a digital gate and is here and it's not all pixels and whatnot. So, um, creepy dude literally puts Hero on a full Nelson. Like I'm thinking to myself, you're a grown man. This is at least a 15, 16-year old. What are you doing? But Ruli pulls them into the digital world. I don't know why they keep making that her like her thing, her deal. Everybody needs to start doing that to practice it, or the moment she's not there, you're screwed. Which Jellymon admonishes Kiyoshiro for saying, "How come you didn't think of that?" And Goramon and Gamamon, they make their way. They're both flying over to attack Yatagaramon because it's just them, Yatagaramon. There's no crows. There's no creepy dude. Um, the do Break Claw Double Lariat does nothing. This is a giant ultimate Digimon. Like it's the appropriate size from Digimon Adventure semicolon or Digimon Adventure 2020 remake reboot. Thing is, this is this is Yatagaramon. This is Angoramon. This is Gamamon. This thing is rightfully massive. Their attacks do nothing. BB Thunder done by Jellymon misses. And the funny part is once he caught Angoramon, he just threw Angoramon at her. Galmon roars, the Yatagurumon roars, and it does the darkness move, the Haguro. They can again hear one another, but they can't see one another. Well, Yatagurumon goes off and just attacks all of them. We get the nice. I love the art, the way the art looks for this part, where it's complete blackness, but they're drawn and their outlines are all in white. Really good job illustrating that. I appreciate that. But once the darkness subsides, all of them are hurt. Now the Digimon tell them, you need to just run. Don't worry about it. Especially in Goramon and Jellymon. You know, darling, you need to run. You guys need to go. But Garamon keeps talking about this damn chocolate. And so it jumps up and bites the third leg before Yatagoromon can fire off that move that's just going to make them all turn to nothing. This Yatagoromon pulled this guy because you bit the third leg. Huh, that's a inappropriate joke in there. It grabs you with the other two and flies straight up past the clouds and then dive bombs and lets him go. Like, you're gonna die. So Hero's running because Gamma is falling towards the digital version of the bird sanctuary. And he's trying to fly, but he's like, I can't stop. I need to fly, Hero. I need to fly. And if you pay attention to the intro, you know what's gonna come next. That thing on the Digivice goes up. He digivolves and turns into. It's technically pronounced Kaus Gamamon. It was written very weirdly in the translation I read. Let's take a look at this blue. Now, yeah, look at. Oh, oh, dang. I don't know how that happened. Let's go back several times. Let's do this again. Look, just look at him and all his splendor, just flying about. Even better picture. I think this is drawn by. This is a fan art, but it's really well done. So as you can see, he has little glider wings, kind of like Spider-Man in his early comic days. Just can glide on through like a flying squirrel. But allow me to tell you more about him. As an adult, a champion dragon man data type. Yatagara is an ultimate vaccine type. And a form in which Garamon grew up and his body turned blue due to his calm and clear mind. It soars like a glider, spreading the membranes underneath its arms and allowing it to fly far in high places or to rise just briefly while gliding while using jet ports on its knees. It has jet ports on its knees, y'all. It's calm and cool and collected and fights by seeing through the opponent's movements. Its special moves are performing a ramming attack called Urada Impulse, and it has a Lamberta kick. Here's the thing: they never really utilized those jets on its feet, on its knees. It was just fine. Even I mentioned, look like this guy's just kind of floating. Now, when Yanagarmon, uh, before this, I gotta say, everyone's happy that he did evolve, and everybody's like, wow, he turned into something different. It's pretty interesting. Now, Yanagarmon does a feather move that just sends feather missiles, basically feather darts, at him, and he's dodging, but and Gormite says, well, he's gliding. He needs to ride the wind. And when Hero calls out for him to do so, he does that. He finds a pocket of air and he goes up. And then he does the Udara impulse, which is literally just ramming back and forth. And after the tackle's done, he does a little kick. Yadagarmon goes down, big plume of smoke. It's like, did he win? Of course he didn't win. This is an ultimate level Digimon versus a newly made champion. This thing's massive. So he's like, oh, do you want another one? Yadagarmon roared and then went away. They go back into the real world. The crows go with it. The bird guy's chasing them because he's like, wait, but they're just like, okay, so it's running away. One of them wonders where is it heading, and Gormon tells us it's trying to lead them to the Golden Land, which we just read in the encyclopedia. Which I'm happy that a lot of these things are going back into what the encyclopedia says. So it is noted, I think by Ruli, that not all of them are following. And and Goromon says this, that the caged bird yearns for freedom while the wild bird yearns for friends. And Guru's like, what? But of course, Hero understands birds are free to choose what they want. Yes. And when this little blurb is happening, the Chiroro little parakeet goes back to Mika, and it's a happy ending. When some leave and some choose to live with humans, it means that bonds take different shape. That is literally what Angormon had to tell his friend. It made sense to me. This is probably the one saying that he said that made the most sense. Next week we had something about yokai, which it has a bunch of different Digimon. It's based on the nightly march of monsters, which is a Japanese folklore thing where different types of yokai come out and march out. Um, I don't have much time on this recording device, but I'm just gonna flat out say this. I'm very close to giving this a 2. I said last week, and I remember saying, I'm gonna give them until 10 episodes to give everybody another evolution and to make this make sense. A lot of people didn't like Digimon Adventure 2020 remake because it wasn't the original, and that wasn't the point. It wasn't supposed to be the original. I adored it for its pacing, which means all the rookies turned into champions to fight other champions. And we didn't get to ultimate forms until everyone got their champion forms, until everybody was fully seen and had a moment to do that. And there were even moments, actually, there's moments in other Digimon shows where you get to like, okay, the champion form is not cutting it. We either gotta find another way to attack or you evolve. We are at the point where one Digimon can turn into 2 different forms, and that's it. They've gone against 5 different ultimates. I do not like the battle pacing of this because I would have personally, and maybe I don't like it because it's different. Maybe that's the point, that it's supposed to be different. Because there's, if you've seen the Spider-Man trailer, they're Scooby Dooing this crap, right? I appreciate having a group that actively investigates what's going on, not like the kids in season 3 and Tamers, not like the kids and Savers. It was their job. Digimon Savers, it's their job. I hope that's what it's called. I don't feel like looking it up right now. I don't have time. Um, that would be called season 5. That was their job. Season 3, this kind of like whatever happens, happens. A lot of us are actually going out killing Digimon to make our Digimon stronger for whatever reason. But I can appreciate them going, okay, obviously, because we experienced this, we know other people are experiencing. Let's go solve these problems. I don't like that not everyone has gone to their next form, and we're steadily going against ultimates that are running away. Sure, you're able to talk things out with Mummy Mon. I like that. You talk things out with Siren Mon. Okay, I'm seeing this, but this thing is pretty much of a jerk. It's a really big jerk. And we had Majoramon, which you had to solve that problem because you caused it. I will accept that one. Pumpmon was for the holidays. It's it's the holidays, y'all. It's the Halloween holiday. I'm okay with that. But we cannot constantly have Gamamon turns into one of two forms. May or may not land some hits. Then the big Digimon says, all right, I'm done. I'm leaving. There, I would have progressed this to the point where they grow and they, okay, episode 5, we got the whole group. Episode 6, we got to see them all work together. For what I would do for episode 7, I would have made it so people are starting to get their other forms, get their evolutions now, but now they're not just beating them with evolutions. They're not going to kill them. They're just going to talk things out and hopefully they leave. Once we get through everyone getting a form and maybe Gamamon getting its second and third form, right? Because you know it has that dark form that'll probably happen once someone either gets killed or possibly killed. Then we go to the point of saying, "Wow, there's a really strong one." Part two of this particular thing is where someone has to go into their ultimate form. But we're not getting that. Now again, maybe I don't like it because it's so different. I've already committed to watching this. I'm gonna see it all the way through. And I'm trying to be patient and give them to episode 10. But I do not. I'm so close to giving it a 2, and I love Yatagaramon. I like that Digimon, and I'm close to being like, man, you guys need to stop doing this because it's gonna get old. So I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna give it a very, very low 3. It is pushing it. This is the lowest of 3s that I can give because it don't have to be like other shonen anime, right? You don't have to be like shonen anime where it's like, oh, they fight a strong guy, it's too much for them. Strong guy leaves, and they have to start leveling up and doing the hero's journey thing, and then they can come back and finally beat this thing. Digimon doesn't necessarily do that. They did that in season 1 though, the very first one with my oldest mom. We're like, yeah, he's an ultimate, but for some reason, Regurumon and a giant mecha dinosaur cannot kill him. So then you get to the point where, oh, now we got the angel. We can actually take care of this guy. And then he gets bigger, and then you go into your Deus Exes, right? Which I'm okay with. I kind of want something like that, but we don't have a big bad yet. And it's okay. We don't need one necessarily. I'm trying to remain positive. I'm trying to understand this show. I really, really, really hope next week. I know one of the Digimons is Mammothmon or Memon, and that's the ultimate level Digimon. I'm pretty sure there's one more ultimate level. There's a bunch of champions in there with this nightly March of the Monsters. Can by episode 9, can I get Angoramon turn into slimmer kicking bunny rabbit, please? Please, please don't let me wait till 10 and I'm proven wrong that you guys just didn't pull it up by 10. I'm gonna be patient. Low 3. Let me know what you thought of the episode in the comment section down below, please. I'm genuinely interested in what you guys thought. And if you got this far, what's been your favorite antagonist Digimon so far? I got a thing for dragons. I personally like Majoramon showing up because his divine attack looked really cool, and I like the fact that Yatagaramon could not be beat. He just chose to leave because that's what he wanted to do. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. As always, hit that like button. If you aren't subscribed here, hit the subscribe button. That's right there. If you are subscribed here, hit the notification bell. Get notified of more videos like this. Do them every Sunday. Don't forget to share that video so other people can see what we think about with the new Digimon Ghost game. As always, everybody, I appreciate you taking some time to spend some time with your buddy Shane. Please be good, be blessed. Wash your hands, wear a mask. Be good to yourself, be good to others. Either way, don't be a jerk. And I will definitely see you next time.